All right, welcome to Cafe Chronicles. Tonight we have Kern Brantley, bass player. How you doing, Kern?
So far, so good here.
So far, so good?
Yes, sir.
All right. We just had a big weekend. We had the Bootsy Collins celebration here at Music Hall.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. How did that go for you?
I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of moving parts, but somehow it all came together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of work for you? Because you're the MD for Kern Brantley and D-Town Funk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. I have to pick the band, and we have to pick the songs, then me and Valdez get together and work on the musical. Yep, the musical arrangements and the programming of the show, the way it's going to flow.
Yeah.
Then have to send out the lyrics. And this time we incorporated a script. So a young lady named Dorothea Sharon, she co-wrote the script with me. So we actually had to run over some speaking parts as well.
Yeah. Is that the first time you've ever done that?
Yeah, I did a play once a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of used to the theater a little bit.
Yeah, because you were running back, doing costume changes and
wig changes.
Yeah. Because you played Bootsy.
Yeah, I got to play the role of Bootsy, and then Candido played the role of James Brown, and Dre Sconey played the role of George Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, right?
It was, yeah. I did a lot of research looking at interviews on Bootsy's life and how he got started and how he met James Brown and how he met George Clinton. So we wanted to kind of act out that whole sequence of events that happened with him.
All right. So I wanted to ask you, like, how you got started. Like, how was... you've been doing music for quite a while, from what I've gathered.
Yeah, a long time, yeah. So, started as a kid at home. It was so funny stories. So my mom, she had 6 kids, and then she adopted 4 more kids.
Oh, wow.
So we're all living in this house, and so she said, all these kids, I'm just going to buy a bunch of musical instruments and see if anybody gravitates toward the instruments. So she had a piano, and she had some drums, and a couple guitars and some percussions and stuff. And we as kids, we just used to play with it, like, oh man, this is cool. We used to watch TV, see Jimi Hendrix and stuff like that. And my brother, we always wanted to be Jimi Hendrix. So he's like, man, I want to be Jimi Hendrix. No, I want to be Jimi Hendrix. So I wound up getting forced to play the bass.
Guitar.
Yeah, because I was a guitar player at first. Then my older brother, he wanted to play guitar too. So he wound up getting all the lead parts and pushing me off to the bass line. So I eventually just started playing bass.
Wow. How old were you then?
Oh man, probably about 9 or 10, somewhere in there. We had being in the band was cool because it gave us fun. We had a lot of friends that would come over, and we'd be in the basement jamming, and other kids would come over our house and just watch us practice and stuff.
So, like, since you were 9, you haven't stopped?
Yep, kept going. I got to high school. Well, once I got to junior high school, I was kind of getting bullied in school. So one day they said, hey, the teacher's like, if you got a skill or a talent or a hobby, you can bring it to school. So I took my guitar to school, and I played a song by the Staple Singers, I'll Take You There. And right after that, all the bullies left me alone. I said, hey. Then I started meeting girls. And I was like, wait a minute, no bullies, no girls, and I might get paid for this? Oh, yeah, I got to keep going.
That's great. And your brother Valdez was right beside you in all this?
Yeah, he was the youngest one, so Val kind of followed in my footsteps. My oldest brother, he was a drummer, and he eventually went to the Marines to get the drum and bugle corps. So we always had like drummers and stuff. And then Val, we wanted to form a band, so we was like, hey, Val said, well, I'll get on keyboards. So then he started, my mom had a piano, so we started playing keyboards as well. We all played all instruments. I played bass, guitar, and keys, and Val plays drums, keyboards, and my other brother plays drums and guitar. So we would just go from instruments to instrument, just jumping around, having fun.
Wow.
Yep.
That's great. Do you remember the first band you were in? Like that was... that you like did gigs with and
well, the first band I was a gospel band, a church band. I was playing at my grandmother's church, and so I was really interested in gospel music back then. And then I wound up doing an audition and meeting Thomas Whitfield, who was a choir director. So I wound up playing for his choir, And then through the choir, I met the Winans and the Clark sisters through Tommy. And then so my first experience were basically in gospel bands, the Whitfield Company, the Winans, and the Clark sisters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
How old were you then?
Wow, I was getting it. I was in high school during that time, like maybe 18 and 19, looking for a summer job. That's how I met Thomas Whitfield. I was looking for a job, and he was a musical director at a theater. And then I wound up working in the theater, and I told him I could play. So he said, "Hey man, if you can play, bring your bass to work one day, and we'll see." You know, and then it all worked out.
That's a great story.
Yeah, it was so cool of him to do that.
Wow. And then you got some pretty big gigs. When did those come along?
Well, after that, I heard about an audition. I was playing at this restaurant up in Rochester Hills, and Earl Clue just happened to be in that restaurant having dinner with his manager.
Just happened to be there.
Yeah, you know, because Earl used to hang out, with all those, from Detroit. And so he's like, wow. He came to see a friend of mine, Kamal Kenyatta, was a piano player, so he knew him. And he said, well, who's that kid on bass? So I gave him my card. I used to always carry these little business cards around. I gave it to him. So he invited me to an audition at Baker's Keyboard Lounge. And I went there, and I was a little nervous. But I love Earl's music so much that I kind of knew all of his songs. You know, he had Greg Filling Games on keyboards and on the records and stuff, and Marcus Miller, so I was a fan of their work. So I wind up getting picked to go on tour with Earl when I was like maybe 19 or 20, just graduating. You know, and that was my first really big gig.
Just because he happened to be there.
Yep, having dinner on the right place at the right time. Yep.
Oh, that's great. How long did you do that for?
I did that for a couple years, toured with Earl. We went to Japan, and that was my first time going overseas, which was very, very great experience. We played Osaka Blue Note and the Tokyo Blue Note over there, and it was so much fun. And I did that for maybe 2 or 3 years, and then I came back.
Jazz is big over there.
Yeah. And then Alexander Zonjic.
Sure.
So I was in Alex's band as well. So
I didn't know that. Yeah.
I knew Earl from theirs too. So he kind of like, that guy played with Alexander Zonjic, and then I wound up touring with Earl, and then coming back home, working back with Alex again, and just doing the local Detroit scene.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great. So, yeah.
And then from there, coming back to Detroit, I hooked back up with the Winans. The Winans did a song called "It's Time to Make That Change" with Teddy Riley and the group Guy. So we're doing tours, we're doing some shows. We go to New York, we're playing at Apollo, and Teddy Riley and Guy was the special guest. So they were watching us from backstage as we were doing the Winans show, and they came on to do the song. Teddy, once again, me and those business cards, I gave Teddy a card. He called me, he said, man, I want the whole Winans band. He said, that band is amazing. So I went, none of the guys wanted to leave. They were like, well, no, we're in the church, and we're going to be doing the gospel stuff. And I was like, man, this is Teddy Riley. He's producing everybody, Michael Jackson, Bobby Brown. So I flew to New York and actually auditioned and got the gig with Teddy, and that was when I really started breaking into the New York scene, working under Teddy Riley. So that was amazing opportunity.
Damn. So you went with him?
Yep. Yeah, we toured with a group called Guy.
Okay.
Guy, and Teddy started introducing me to other New Jack Swing artists like Bobby Brown. He said, everybody, well, who's this kid from Detroit? And every time I would get a gig, I would call Valdez and like, hey, man, get out here. I'm out here working with these guys. And
what was he doing at the time?
Val was actually working with Al Hudson in One Way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, here in Detroit.
Huh.
Yep, he was working with One Way and doing studio stuff with them.
Yeah. So you called him and asked him to come to New York?
Yeah.
Did he come?
Yeah. Oh, he came. Yeah, he came out there and hung out, and he wound up working. Then, so once I got to New York, having my Detroit instinct, I start like searching for other stuff, and then I heard about an audition for Mary J. Blige. Somebody was like, "Hey, this girl Mary J. Blige is putting together a band at Rocket Studio. You need to get up there." So I said, "Well, I'm gonna go in there." I wasn't invited to the audition,
You just showed up.
I just kind of showed up, and then when they were like, "Who's next?" I was, "Oh, me," and I just walked in, and then everybody's like, "Who is this guy?" I was like, "Hey, I'm from Detroit. I don't know anybody. I have nothing to lose here."
Right.
You know.
And you got it.
I got it.
That's how you do it.
Got it. But the problem was I didn't have anywhere to live.
Right.
Once I got the gig, I was like, wait a minute, I don't live here in New York. I'm just here for a few days. So this good friend of mine, Robert Sadin, who's a producer, he said, well, I have a place in Brooklyn. You guys can crash there, you know. And so we said, cool. So Mary never knew I didn't live in New York. She thought I was a New Yorker all that time.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so it was fun. Once the tour started, it doesn't matter where you live because you're never home anyway.
Yeah. And
then at the end of the tour, I was like, well, I'm going back to Detroit, so just send me back to Detroit instead of there.
That's great. So how long were you with her?
Wow, 10 years.
Ooh.
10 years with Mary. Very interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it fun?
It was a lot. It was the hip hop years. It
Yeah.
was the years I was working with her, and then coming back home working with Aaliyah.
Oh.
Yeah, because Aaliyah, it's all goes back to the Winans. Aaliyah's father was the road manager for the Winans, and her uncle Barry Hankerson was the manager for the Winans. So it was like, huh.
Oh, so it's all intertwined.
Intertwined, yeah. So then when she, her first album came out, which was Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, a song called Back and Forth, her dad was like, well, we could just use these guys because these guys are from the church. This is a good band for her. So he made me the musical director for Aaliyah. And then once again, I called Valdez. He came in, programmed it, put everything together.
Is that the first time you were a MD?
Well, I was MD for the Winans before that. So
right.
yeah, so that the Winans was my first musical director position.
Okay.
And learned a lot doing that, you know, because they were working with Whitney Houston and Stevie Wonder. We recorded one song we recorded with Michael McDonald, and that was really cool. And then the Winans had a big hit out with Anita Baker called Ain't No Need to Worry. So we did that tour as well. And Michael Powell, who was Anita's producer, who's from Detroit, wound up hooking up with him, doing a lot of recording sessions with him as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you. So you were on tour with these people. Were you on any recordings with them?
Well, mostly the Winans, I did a lot of recordings with them. Every now and then I would hook up and hear about sessions while I was in New York. So there was this place called a Time Capsule with referred musicians. So I wound up doing Will Smith record, Get Jiggy With It, and LL Cool J, Phenomenon, and another group, 98 Degrees, all while in New York. So I was doing a lot of session works as well while I was in New York. And all this stuff, New York was really popping for me back then.
Yeah.
You know.
What years?
That had to be the 90s.
Yeah.
In the 90s, yeah. 90, met Mary J. Blige like 1991. So that whole era, that whole 10-year span, the 90 to the 2000s.
Wait, you were on those records?
I was on those records, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's crazy. Holy shit.
He's a man.
So like the bass and like Get Jiggy With It.
That's me.
Oh, holy shit. That's so cool. All right.
Yeah. Yep. That record did well. That record did 8 million copies.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Because of the bass line.
Wow.
All right, excellent. So that takes us to 2000, right?
The 2000s, yeah. So I do the Mary J. Blige stuff. In between that, coming back to
you said you did something with Michael Powell.
Yeah,
right?
Well, came after the Winans album, Michael called me to do some more recording. He had Vanguard Studios in Oak Park. So I did a bunch of stuff over there. That's when I came back, and then Thomas Whitfield was producing Aretha Franklin. So that's how I got to meet the Queen of Soul. Tommy said, I'm doing this gospel album on Aretha. She wants to be a church record. And she really didn't want a bass player. She just wanted piano, organ, and drums, and a choir, like a traditional kind of church album. But Tommy said, no, come anyway, because I need that bass. So when I showed up, Aretha wasn't there yet, and so I'm plugged up. And then she came in and she was like, she looked at me. She was like, oh, he can stay. He's cool. I was like, woo, thank you. And so that's how I wound up recording with Miss Franklin
on the gospel record.
Yeah.
What
it was called One Lord, One Faith, One Baptism.
Okay.
I think she might have won an award for that album as well, because it was live at her dad's church.
Right.
What's that? New Bethel Baptist Church. It was a live recording session. Then after that, she called me for some more records to play on as well. So it was like a stair-step. Tommy there to Aretha. And then we also did Vanessa Bell Armstrong's album, Yolanda Adams' album. And then I produced a couple more choirs out of Chicago as well.
That's great.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Aretha was a great friend of Music Hall.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we named, we changed the name of the Jazz Cafe.
Yeah. I know she told us, I used to call her Mrs. Franklin. We were in the studio once recording, and I had to ask her a question. I was like, excuse me, Aretha, what note are you playing? She said, it's Mrs. Franklin. I was like, oh, okay. So I always call her Mrs. Franklin from that point on.
That's great.
Man.
Yeah. So that was early 2000s?
Early 2000s. From there, came back, hooked up with Aaliyah. Then I went back and did Mary again. But this time when I went to do Mary J. Blige, Usher was the opening act for Mary. And he heard my brother Valdez. So I said, well, Val, look, we might as well split up and you start your own band. And I'll keep this band. So then he created the Usher band. With Val did. Yeah, with Aaron Spears, Johnny Natural, Buddy Strong, who now plays with the Dave Matthews Band. Yeah. And Valdez went on as musical director for Usher, and he did it for like 20 years over there.
I knew that, but I didn't know it was 20 years.
Yeah, Val was there from the beginning.
Wow.
But in between, we would also come back, and then we hooked up with... Val was doing Usher, I was doing Mary. Then Teddy Riley called us back to do the group Blackstreet. So we did Blackstreet after that. We were doing like 3 or 4 tours at the same time. So I had 3 different bands. Then I wound up coming back doing Boys to Men and New Kids on the Block as musical director in New York and Boston.
Just touring? Or any records with them?
Just touring and television stuff. With those guys. That happened like early 2000s. Around 2003 or 4, one of the background singers for Mary J. Blige was from Houston, Texas, and Beyonce was looking for a band. So she said, we got this guy named Kern in Detroit, and he did Mary J. Blige stuff. So I got a phone call to fly to New York to meet with Beyonce. So flew out there, met with her, got the gig, boom.
Damn.
Then we did like 3-4 years with Beyonce. After Beyonce tours ended, she said, well, I want to keep the same band for Destiny Child. Farewell.
What were you doing? I mean, you're just MD for on the road?
Yeah, on the road. Actually the world tour. We went all over Europe, Asia, Africa.
Just real quick, what does that mean? Just like when you're an MD, you're just kind of like you're running the
musical part. Like so,
I understand it's musical director, and I'm just saying just to be clear. So I know what it means. I think I know what it means, but I just want like from your perspective, like you're MD for Beyonce. What are you doing?
I'm responsible for the band, hiring the band members. A lot of times the artists don't want to talk to the band, so they'll come talk to me and say, hey, I like this, I don't like that, I want to do this, I want to do that. So my job is to take the artist's wishes and relay it to the band, make sure that the band is doing what they're supposed to do. Also, I collaborate with the artists with the musical directions and the arrangements Like Beyonce might say, well, I want this part to sound like Coming to America, and then I want this part to go into like a rock and roll feel. So it's up to me to make that happen musically.
Okay.
I hire the singers as well.
So you pick the band?
Mm-hmm.
So that like the artist doesn't say, I want this guitar player or that or...
It varies.
Or
Sometimes
does it
it's
depend?
an audition, like a cattle call. Like when I did Lady Gaga, it was a cattle call audition. But with Beyonce, she said, you pick the band.
Yeah.
These are your guys. I want guys that you're comfortable with. So I, picked the best musicians that I knew in New York and rehearsed them, got them ready for the tour. We work on everything from musical arrangements to just how to carry ourselves on the road, with artists.
Yeah.
And being on time, being on point, definitely knowing your equipment, knowing how to set up, knowing how to do sound checks and everything.
Wow. So there's more than just playing the tunes.
Oh, yeah. It's almost like a management too, because I'm the middleman between the manager and the artists and the musicians.
Yeah.
So the manager will talk to me, the artist will talk to me, then I have to go to the band and say, hey, they want this, they don't want that. And it's got to happen.
Yeah. Because I know not too long ago, I know Chaka Khan was looking for a guitar player.
I remember that.
Yeah. So, which I thought was, I don't know if it's odd, but it was out there. You don't hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Someone like Chaka Khan is out there. I mean, she herself is on Facebook saying, I am looking for a rock and roll guitar,
Yeah, that might have been a PR thing because they can get musicians anywhere. Mm-hmm. Like recently I had the opportunity of working with Mr. David Foster, and I was referred to David by Troy Loretta, who was his musical director at the time. But somebody came to me and they said, David can have any bass player he wants. And I said, I'm sure, in the world. So I actually had to audition for him as well. Normally when I do an audition, I do a lot of studying. Like with Gaga, I knew she was a fan of Bruce Springsteen. I knew kind of what music she liked and what she grew up on. So when I audition, I already know, okay, she likes Elton John or she likes this or that. So I should approach it in that kind of way.
Gotcha. So you did the same thing with Lady Gaga that you did for Beyonce?
Yes. Well, with Gaga, I was not the musical director. I was just the bass player.
Oh, okay.
But it was a cattle call in New York where maybe 400 or 500 musicians showed up from all over the country, and from Canada, and some people even from London came over to audition.
Wow.
And it was intense. It was intense.
Just going back, how long were you with Beyonce?
I was with Beyonce for 3 years.
Okay.
3 or 4 years, yeah.
All right. That was like mid-2000s or?
Yep, mid-2000, 2003, 4, 5. Yeah.
And then Gaga?
And then Gaga after that, yeah.
Okay. And then how long were you with Lady Gaga?
I was with Gaga for 6 years.
Okay.
And with Gaga, it was really a world tour where we did South America, Asia, all over Europe, Middle East, Africa, Russia, like countries I never heard of. We were going to like Bucharest, and I heard of Croatia on the news, but so we went.
So
there.
is this like when she was this like poker face and like
Bad
when
Romance?
She was really like
Yeah, I did the Monster Ball tour. I did the Born This Way tour,
okay.
And then I did the Art Pop tour.
Yeah.
And each tours were like 2 years each. The Art Pop was the last one I did with her. And then after the Art Pop tour, that's when I had the audition with David Foster. And that just led to my new job working now in China.
Yeah. I've heard about that. That's a trip.
Yeah, JJ Lin. JJ Lin is like the Michael Jackson of China.
You sent me photos. It's like these arenas of like what, 200,000 people.
Yeah, we play stadiums. Insane. We play stadiums like every week. And he's also very popular in Europe as well as Singapore, because he's from Singapore, Malaysia. So that whole region, but China is like really his biggest fan base.
How would you describe his music?
Wow, it's like a mix to me. It's like pop. It's like pop with R&B influences and rock and roll influences, but it's Chinese music is very structured and very melodic. Mm-hmm. So the melodies are very important in Asian culture.
But you're playing all Western music instruments, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no like.
All the music is written. So for me, I don't understand any of the language or any of the lyrics. I'm just kind of reading the notes and just kind of following that and putting an American feel on it.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a universal language, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's fun.
Does that get uncomfortable? Like being in that situation? Like where you can't, you can't understand.
It gets because sometimes they may say something or they may call something in the show and I don't know what anybody's talking about. So I always feel like, oh my God, what are they saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but I've been with JJ for this will be the 7th year.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of used to it now, and I have a translator and I have the translator app. So sometimes I can catch it, and I understand some Chinese, Mandarin, but for the most time of it, I don't know what nobody's talking about.
That's crazy. And I know this might have been a few years ago now, but he sent me it was like a crowd of people, and some girl was holding up his name in a big.
Oh, really?
"We love you, Kern" or something.
Yeah, the fans are over there are very loyal and they're very meticulous. Like I was in Japan and this guy, he knew my resume. He said, "Oh no, you played with this person, and you played with Grover Washington Jr."
Yeah,
because I did jazz.
He read your baseball card. It's like he got all your stats.
And then he wanted me to sign. He had actually the records that I played on, and he wanted me to sign them, so I signed all the records for him. But it was like, wow, they really know the musicians. Like a lot of people know the artists, but these guys actually know who's in the band, and who's playing drums, and who's playing guitar, and what type of guitar he's playing, and who he's, do their homework.
That's great.
It's fun. Yeah, it was fun. It was so much fun.
How long do you go out there for, normally?
Well, this last trip, it was maybe 3 months. The next trip I have coming to China is, I think it's like 6 months, which would be the longest I ever stayed over there.
Yeah.
But a job is a job. It's a gig.
Yeah. Well, I remember right before COVID.
Yeah, we were there.
Back. Yeah. That was scary.
We were there. I've been to Wuhan. I know Wuhan, the malls, because I like to shop. Because over there they have different sneakers and clothing and stuff that you'll never find in the States. So, when COVID first hit in Asia, I was seeing stuff on the news, but I didn't really know what they were talking about. This doctor found this weird virus, and there's something. And you can see the news, because in Asia, the news is on 24 hours a day. It's like all day is CNN. So I'm looking at all the stuff, but I'm not getting it. So, right before Christmas, they said, we're going to send you guys home, back to the States, because the band was from the U.S. So we get back to the U.S., and in China, people always wear masks. They've been wearing masks for years. Even if you have a cold, it's polite to wear a mask. But when I got back to the States, nobody was wearing masks. And I was like, well, so they start talking about COVID, and I was like, well, some of my friends in Asia said, yeah, that's the flu thing that they're talking about, coronavirus. And I was like, yeah, and I'm telling people, yeah, this is coronavirus, this is a real thing. And they're like, yeah, sure, it's a cold, it'll be gone. Yeah, I was like, okay. So I was kind of prepared for it, but I didn't know we were going to go into quarantine, like lockdown like that, though. But in China, everything had shut down. There was no buses running, no stores, couldn't get a taxi.
They were strict about it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they
were locking people down.
Come out of your house.
You couldn't even come out your house, and people would actually come to your house if you were sick and get you. Yep.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
Yep. So I said, time to leave China.
Man.
Yeah, it was fun though.
So that's great. That's great. So let's get back to Friday. Let's talk about Friday a little bit more. So, you got any highlights about the Bootsy? So it was it was a Zap Band concert, but the whole night was honoring Bootsy Collins.
Yes. Yeah.
We had One Way featuring Al Hudson, and then Kern Brantley and D-Town Funk.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, it was a concept of honoring Bootsy because I even told Bootsy and his wife that night. As a kid, I was a big fan of Bootsy because he brought the bass guitar to the front, and he was real cool. He used to have these cool glasses and his cool hats and the star bass and all this stuff. So to me, as a kid, Parliament Funkadelic and Bootsy and Earth, Wind and Fire, those were like my favorite bands. Sure. And of course, Tower of Power. I like horn bands that has a lot of big horn section, horns arrangements. But Bootsy was just funky, and he was a bass player, and he was cool. So it was an honor just to even be able to do it. And thank you and Vince and Karen for pulling it all together. But yeah, it was so much fun. It was an honor just seeing him and the smile that we put on his face because we were able to play his music, and he loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. So, you brought a little something to the podcast studio, right? Let's see that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see that.
Mr. Bootsy.
I don't know.
Look at here.
Can we get a little close-up on this, Justin, or how do we do that? Or do we do that?
I mean, I can go up to the camera and do it.
So you want to, describe what you're showing?
Yeah. So this right here is Bootsy Collins' signature bass that's created by the company Warwick.
Okay.
That's based in Germany. And I'm a Warwick endorser. I'm endorsed by the company Warwick. So this is a limited series bass that they created in honor of Bootsy. And it's shaped
that's good
with his simple star. But mine is special because I actually had him sign the back of it. So I got Bootsy's signature and autograph on the back of my bass.
To Kern, P-Funk for days.
For days. Yeah, man.
Bootsy Collins.
But this is a nice quality. I know you played with it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a very quality instrument.
And it's got a little picture of him, right?
Yeah, it's a little picture of him.
Did you see the picture of him on the headstock?
Oh, no way.
Yeah. That's Bootzilla, baby.
Yeah.
So this bass is very special to me now that I have the signature of Bootzilla on here.
So that was made for you?
No. They made a limited amount of these basses, and I just happened to be able to get one of them.
Okay. How many did they make? Do you know?
It might be maybe on 100 of these somewhere.
Is it numbered? I was just curious.
5633926.
Yeah.
It says 21 on the back.
20. It could be the 21 of 100 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, this thing
That's
is so
fantastic.
cool. And the back of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to treasure this thing.
Beautiful. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I have 21 basses at home. I have 21 different bass guitars, yeah.
And on top of that, you did Bass Day the next day.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. I couldn't make it down there. We had a show here.
It was bananas.
So
Bass Day originally was an idea that me and my sister, we were sitting around, and we were talking about James Jamerson, the bass player from Motown. And we were like, wow, he played on all of the Temptations and all of the Four Tops and all of the Jacksons and all of the Supremes and all of the Gladys Knight and the Pips records and Martha Reeves records and all the Stevie Wonders and all the Marvin Gaye records. And I'm like, wow, they need to honor this guy. He's on more hits than the Beatles and the Rolling Stones combined. I looked up his discography, and it was thousands of records that he played on. And he grew up in Detroit. He was a Detroit guy. His family, his kids and wife, they are Detroiters. And I felt that we really need to recognize and honor this guy. And Motown was the proper place to do it because that's where he recorded at. So my sister was like, well, you're on the road. I'm going to put it together for you. So I went out on a tour with Lady Gaga. When I came home, my sister had put together the whole Detroit Bass Day book with the menu, the program, what the concept was, everything.
Oh, this was all the first. It was all centered around James Jamerson. The first one.
The very first one was a tribute to James Jamerson.
Okay.
So I was able to get 12 bass players from Detroit, the 12 best bass players I could find, like Ralph Armstrong and the late Lamont Johnson, Brandon Rose. Who else was on that? David Winans.
He was probably really young then, right? Brandon?
Yeah, he was a little kid. Yep. T Money Green came.
Oh,
Who else was there? You know, probably most of these guys. My friend Goldie was there. Pope. And, you know, we picked 12 Jamerson songs, and each person got one song each with the house band. So that's how I kind of started.
Huh.
And his wife came, and James Jr., he came. He was there.
That was at the Motown Museum?
The first one we did was at the Tanchen Gallery.
Oh, okay.
And then the next year later on, we went to United Sounds and did it at the studio. But then every year we would go to the Motown Museum and take a photo in front of the museum, like all these bass players. So we said, hey, let's just do it here because the photo was cool, but I kept seeing all these basses, but I wanted to hear what they sounded like. And I said, can these guys play? I see all these bass players in here, but it's nowhere to plug up. So that's when Bass Day said, hey, let's bring the amps. Let's make it into like a festival kind of thing where people could just plug up and play. And that's what we've been doing, yep.
That's great. How many years?
This is the 12th year. Yep.
You did one here.
Yeah.
You did one in the cafe.
We sure did, yep. The year we did here at Cafe was this tribute we did to Stevie Wonder. And Nate Watts, who's Stevie's musical director and bass player, he was our special guest that year.
I remember.
Yep.
That was cool.
Nate, Uncle Nate, yep. He's been with Stevie for like 40 years or something like that.
Jeez. Is he still with him?
Yeah, musical director and bassist, yep.
That's fantastic. So it went well this past Saturday.
Yeah, it went well. We had Bootsy Collins came. Our special guest was Marion Hayden, acoustic bass player, and she just won the Kresge Award.
Right.
Also, Emily Rogers and her band performed. Gwyneth Hayes.
Detroit Players, my Detroit Players?
Yep, they performed. This year at Motown, it was the 40-year anniversary of the founder, Esther Gordy Edwards. So that's why we wanted to have 40 bass players jamming in honor to Esther.
What does that sound like?
It sounded like Guitar Center on steroids.
Wow.
Everybody just doing their own thing, but I sent out a set list so everybody know the songs. So when those songs came up, it was like a house band and 40 bass players in the audience playing.
I saw you used pretty much the band you used for the show here.
Yeah, it was the exact same band.
Oh, it was exact, That's a great band, man.
Yeah,
it's a fantastic band.
Yeah, I put together an all-star band in Detroit with Eric Gasson, Rain Man, who plays with Charlie Wilson on drum, Sax Appeal, who plays with everybody on sax. Who else was in that band? Andre Frappier, who plays with Patti LaBelle. He was here. We had Will Cyprian on tenor sax, William Wang on trombone, Jabril and Terrell Williams on trumpet. And then our singers, we had Condito live, Kiko, and Dre Sconey, Sundiata on percussions, and keyboards we had Twan Green and Duran.
Wow.
Yep.
It was great, man.
Fun cast. We are all dressed up in our Bootsy George Clinton clothes.
That's fun.
Yeah. That's what music is missing. We need to bring the fun back. And funk is fun with a K. So you gotta.
Funk is fun with a K.
Yeah, I'm K, and bring the fun. And you got the funk.
Right. All right, excellent. So the one thing that we do here at Cafe Chronicles, we ask our guests if they can remember a moment, chronicle if you will, a moment that sticks out to in your head, something that happened to you in the cafe. You know, playing the cafe or seeing a show at the cafe.
Oh, wow.
Anything that just pops in your head.
Well, the thing that happened to me, I remember, I don't know if it was you or Karen hooked me up with some tickets to see Billy Cobham. And he was playing in the cafe, and a good friend of mine, Scott Tibbs, plays piano.
Yeah, I remember Scott. Yeah.
And the bass player was Tim Landons, I think, and he was a famous bass player that I always wanted to meet. So that was great for me to sit here like in front row watching Billy Cobham on drums and Tim on bass and Scott, and that band was killing.
Yeah.
And there was a sax player, I can't remember his name, but
I don't remember either.
That guy was killer.
He was here a couple times. Because Billy Cobham turned the stage into a drum riser, pretty much. His drums are that big.
He had that big, massive kit right in the middle of the stage.
It just made the stage a drum riser. I mean, it was... Yeah.
Yeah, you know, growing up as a kid, you know, we all used to listen to Billy Cobham records.
Black drum, yeah.
Yeah, you remember those? What's that, Red Baron? Was that a Billy Cobham? Red Baron, I think it's a song that a lot of the bands in high school would play. And it was a Billy Cobham song with a drum solo. And just to see that song live and hear him.
Well, you know, Hot for Teacher, you know that Van Halen song? That beginning drum, that's ripped off from Billy Cobham. I don't know the name of the song, but that's a Billy Cobham.
Wow. Yeah, that was one of my good memories. And I always remember the chicken wings in the cafe.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, thank you. This
fun.
is great, man. This is a great podcast. It's great. I really appreciate the music hall and you and Karen and Vince and the whole staff here.
We appreciate you, man. So, yeah, come on back. We'll do this again.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. Thank you so much, Karen.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.